So with the recent release of the Marvel Superheroes Universes Beyond set, I figured it'd be a decent time to throw my 2 cents into the whole Universes Beyond debate. A little backstory first, though. I got into Magic around 2012, right after the release of Return to Ravnica, and then took a break shortly after Amonkhet. And then I ended that hiatus around right before Modern Horizons 3 dropped. So by then, Universes Beyond has definitely already made an impact in the Magic community. A very divisive impact with extreme opinions one way or another. For me, though, my problem isn't really Universes Beyond itself, more of some factors around Universes Beyond. If anything, I'd like to really start off by saying what I do like about Universes Beyond. Look, no matter what you say, you can't deny that the sales for at least most of the Universes Beyond sets have done extremely well for Wizards of the Coast. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not going to be one of those corporate dick riders who's just going to go on about sales and blah blah blah. And at least for the sake of right now, I can look past all the scalpers and what the gatekeepers refer to as tourists that these well-known IPs seem to attract, seemingly more so than in-universe sets. Although, honestly, amongst the so-called tourists that come into the community from the Universes Beyond sets, you'd honestly be surprised how many of the real tourists end up weaning out, and what's left are genuine players who stick around and help grow the community. Players who saw their favorite IPs that they grew up with as children end up falling in love with the game just based off its mechanics and playstyle. Maybe even taking a dive into the rabbit hole on the stories and the lore itself within the Magic world. Or hell, maybe even branch out into the local tournament scene. Those types of players that got into the game because of Universes Beyond, even if it's a small minority, still helps the community grow. And honestly, overall, that's what I like about Universes Beyond. The way it reaches new audiences that Magic the Gathering otherwise probably wouldn't. Growing the community and ensuring that all of our favorite card shops stay in business. Now for the problems. Don't worry, this video is not clickbait, I assure you. First, let's circle back to those scalpers and quote-unquote tourists. Yeah, they suck. Fuck them. Moving on. Now, my first real problem is mainly from a design perspective. Whether that be underperforming sets that were quite obviously rushed, or you had situations where the set itself was pretty well designed, but it's clear that some of the cards didn't have enough time to get tested out well, which led to a lot of cards taking the banhammer to the dome in a lot of formats. I mean, that wouldn't be a problem if Wizards of the Coast would just slow the fuck down on releases overall every year. My god. And on the topic of set releases, currently we're in the middle of possibly the first year where Universe Beyond sets have outshined in-universe sets, which just started in 2020 as Secret Lair drops, only evolving to Commander Precons, and then eventually having the Dungeons & Dragons and Lord of the Rings sets, and eventually having all that snowball into our first standard Universe Beyond set with the Final Fantasy set. Now, rewind back to about 2020 or even 2019. That's when Wizards of the Coast just started printing more sets per year in general. Even around 2019, before Universes Beyond was even a thing, we were still seeing cards come out that were overpowered, obviously from lack of testing due to lack of time because of a crowded set release schedule. So obviously this was a problem before Universes Beyond. It's just they're using Universes Beyond sets as a way to just bluff up a set release schedule just to meet these completely bullshit company product quotas or whatever. These crowded schedules also impact the product's quality. In the case of Universes Beyond products, instead of proper artwork, they'll just straight up rip off frames from a TV show, movie, video game, whatever the fuck. Just slap that on a card and call it good. But then again, that's also not a problem that's just limited to Universes Beyond, at least in an overall quality sense. But honestly, I feel like all of these problems can be at least helped, if not fixed, if Wizards of the Coast can just slow the fuck down on set releases. I mean, you could say my problems with Universes Beyond go beyond Universes Beyond. And yes, pun fully intended because I'm not a fucking coward. Now, with everything being said, you're probably wondering what kind of ideas would I, some fucking nobody with opinions and a mouth, would have that would fix everything and just make everybody happy. Well, at the very least, like I've been saying, WotC just needs to slow down on set releases. Overall. Now, as for yearly Universes Beyond sets, I feel like we can do with like one standard set per year, followed by a very separate direct-to-commander pre-con deck set. And then maybe throw in like 2 or 3 Secret Lair drop series that are purely reskins of already existing in-universe cards. I feel like if we just cut back Universes Beyond sets by about that, and then even cut back in-universes sets while still having set in-universe sets out-ratioing the Universe Beyond sets. Just overall, players are starting to get fatigued by too many sets, and the purists are starting to actually have a decent talking point or two on their side. Like, honestly, when I got back into Magic in 2024, I was all 100% on board with Universes Beyond. And now I'm starting to get to the point where I just refuse to buy any Universes Beyond product at all. Though I kind of went back on my own principle on that a little bit, considering Meteor Sword's actually a pretty good fucking card and combos really well with Stoneforge Mystic and Philia. But, I mean, yeah. To be fair, to this day, I still have yet to buy a pack that wasn't Lord of the Rings or anything Dungeons & Dragons related. But you know what I hate? Above all else that Universes Beyond has brought us? Universes Beyond has brought out this corporate dick-riding side of the fan base just fucking tenfold. Those kind of ass faces that will see any kind of criticism in regards to Universes Beyond and somehow either take it as an attack on my favorite IP or an attack on my favorite company. Motherfuckers who remind me of Smithers in this scene.
But she's got a new hat.
And let's be honest, are probably just terminally online, sweaty-ass neckbeards. But I think that's enough rage bait for today. And with that, I think I'll just end the video here. And if you somehow made it this far and want to see more of me just rambling about dumb shit in regards to my favorite hobbies, feel free to like this video and subscribe to see more. Also, if you've been digging the background music, be sure to check out my band Dark Eater. We got Spotify, YouTube, Pandora, Apple Music, and give us a follow on our socials. Over there is where you see me crack packs on our reels, and so far I have yet to pull anything that's actually good. But until next time, I will see you guys later.